Right, man. Hello there. Hello, wonderful people. Uh, we, yes, we are live. This is Alashola. It's wonderful having you guys here. Aku ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, aku ọjọ́ mẹ́rin, and bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Today I'm going to be talking about one of our Orishas in Yoruba. You know, it's not only Yoruba. This Orisha I'm talking about today. I believe you could say she called across Africa. You know, so is and then you still find her in Brazil as well. So she's not only just limited to Yoruba. You know, as when you're talking about Yoruba and whatever. Anyway, this Orisha, I personally I've had a personal relationship with this Orisha. I'll come to talk about that later on in this video. That was earlier on in my life. It was probably in my early 30s or late 20s, thereabouts. I'll come to talk about that later on. But I'm going to just do a bit of intro about for people that are unaware or you probably know you've never heard about Aye-Lala. She's a goddess, you know, a very powerful deity, you know, amazing, powerful Orisha, Aye-Lala. So like I said, I will do a bit of intro and I'm going to do the best that I can. Obviously, if you see yourself in this Orisha, if what I'm going to be talking about her resonate with you, you can always do more research. Obviously, because the thing is, the other day I was there's this other Orisha, but she was more popular in Zulu. So sometimes because we have the many Orishas that are in Africa, I don't believe anyone can ever count all of them because there's so many of them, and so because of that, being our ancestors is, for example, some people, most people that I know, water children, they'll say they are from Oshun, they are Oshun's daughter or Yemoja, because those are the popular Orishas that most people know that this is a water goddess. So most people will gonna find the traits what they have that's similar to that Orisha, and maybe their Babalawo will tell them, oh, that's your mom, blah blah blah. But the thing is, there are other water goddesses that they aren't as popular as when you talk about Oshun or you talk about Yemoja, or Mami Water, but the children of these Orishas also, they are probably out there searching. So, what am I trying to say here is that, whichever the Orisha, try and do more research. Obviously, it's about you finding you, because when you find your Orisha, that's your direct line, not the one that, okay, if you are with the Orisha that adopted you, fair enough, they probably will still look after you. But if you find your own your parent Orisha of your head, it's like a jackpot, because everything you would and then you are able to have a connection with that Orisha, whichever way that you are in touch. You touch base. Your life will turn around, because there's going to be it's almost like having a direct line to what's it called, head of state, or Donald Trump, or King Charles, and they know you are one-on-one, or you are even related to them, or so it's different from when you're talking to their PA, or you are talking to their personal whatever, it is. So in that sense, I would always advise, don't make it too, let it seem as if, oh, this is too much work for you to do. If you're really on this path of spirituality, and another thing is, you try and do this for yourself, because so oftentimes many people would like to other people to do their work for them, And so it's almost like someone cook the food, you just go there and eat it. But you may not, you might, I mean, you may not taste the way that you wanted it to, and you cannot even complain because it's all your fault. So what am I saying? When you do your hard, you do your own research, you studies, you know, you ask this Orisha also, because I mean they are alive. Um, that look, if you are my da 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 da, I want to have a one, you know, one-on-one relationship with you. That doesn't mean you still do not may not need the help of your mentor or whatever. But it's always good to have, you know, your direct link, you know, relationship with your Orisha. You know, at least that's what I always teach. You know, to be able to have a direct link whereby you can, you know, the Orisha can come to you too. You know how to access them, you know how to connect with them, whichever, you know, whatever it is, you know, you want to ask question, you know, about your journey or whatever I say, you know, they are there to guide you one on one, you know. So what am I saying here with Aye-Lala is that there's a lot of Orisha also that we, you know, some people might think they have similarities in what they do or what they stand for. Like for example, when you talk about Oya really, you know, she doesn't take any nonsense. You know, so you might see a bit of similarity with Aye-Lala, you know, or some other fiery female goddess, you know, deity like that. But this Orisha I'm about to talk about here today, she was once a human like us. She was from what, according to Yoruba spirituality, down history handed down. She was a female young woman slave, and then I believe there was a case of adultery. Somebody committed adultery with somebody, and I believe in that town that was a taboo. And then she was found guilty, and then it was used for sacrifice over a case of adultery, an offense she never committed, you know. So in that sense, I mean, this is a young a woman, you know, and something happened. But obviously you can imagine, as a slave, she probably didn't have any standing, nobody standing there for her, you know. And whoever did committed the original sin probably just got away because they probably were in a better position, I mean, than a slave, you know. And so I believe I think that was a background from where we can pick it up. And I believe what then happened, the name she was known as today, Aye-Lala, stands for Aye. Aye in Yoruba means world. It's a three word, A-Y-E. Aye is Aye-Lala. That is the word. And then so Lala, the Lala at the back of it means the word is incomprehensible, or the word is wicked, you know. I'll come to that later on as I'm, you know, going along here. So the word Lala means large or incomprehensible. So Aye-Lala means the word is a mystery, or the word is incomprehensible. I believe that was what she said when she was about to be killed. That was I believe she was, you know, obviously being in pain, but I believe she was in shock. She couldn't believe this is going to happen to her. Something that she you know, an offense she was not guilty of, you know, and you know, but no one. I mean, they already confirmed that she was guilty. She was about to be killed, and so I believe Aye-Lala deity is popular deity among the Yoruba people. Now, in some part of Yoruba, this deity is worshipped among Ilaje and Ijo people in Ondo State. Also, Benin. We have a lot of Yoruba in Benin. So she's very popular among them there in Benin. And also, when you get to Brazil, Aye-Lala is a popular name, deity there. You get to Togo, Ghana, North America, and so on. You know, like I said, very popular Orisha. Come to the reason why there is. Aye-Lala is powerful and widely respected because this is a no nonsense Orisha. She's not the kind of Orisha that um, uh, you know that's coming to come and play basketball with you. You know, she's a very very serious Orisha goddess. She is Aye-Lala. Like I said earlier on, she's respected goddess because of her capacity to make justice to all evil committed. Aye-Lala is known for her harsh punishment for criminals and for seeking vengeance against those who have forgotten their crime. Right. People, the way it works out this day, you know, in the modern day now is, I mean, from what I know about it, even to this present moment, is that, you know, people will usually bring, you know, their issue and dispute for solution. Say you have like 4 or 5 people living in one house, and you know something got missing. It could be money, it could be it's available, and the person, whoever owns it, is hell bent on, you know, probably see something like the treasure, or you know, probably a lot of money, you know, blah blah blah. And so they're keen on, you know, wanting to find out, you know, where did their money or their possession went. They want it back. If they're not going to get back their day, they're not going to rest until they know, you know actually what happened. So usually they would consult Aye-Lala's priest or priestess. You see, and the way that goes, so it's not that this Orisha that will go to them, oh blah blah. No. It's usually when a dispute about something missing, or you know, that's when usually people will take their problem to the priest or priestess of Aye-Lala. And so what normally happens on such occasions are that the priest would, I don't know, probably call Aye-Lala like a bowl of water, I don't know, and add some other spiritual stuff to eat, you know. So this goddess we're talking about here she's a goddess of oath, also of divination, goddess of truth. If you're going to lie, you better don't come near this Orisha, because you know the end result would be something that you're going to like at all, you know. So you know, so usually the way that would happen is the priest will probably tell the gathering that those are the people, you know, they must have brought everybody that lives in that house, maybe all the 4 or 5 or more, you know, that okay, you say you didn't take it, all right, how about you, it's not you did it, you know. So they're all denying that it has nothing to do with them. In that case, if you all are innocent, as you all claimed, then you're gonna have a bit of, you know, this water to drink. And if you just be sure that you didn't take this thing, because if you come here and you know, and say a false oath, you know what is going to happen. You're playing with your life, blah blah blah. And what then happened is there's some people, maybe they thought, maybe some probably would thought, oh, this is not a serious thing, or what's Orisha, you know, blah blah blah. And some, from what we've heard in the past, a lot of people, you know, some people lost their life, you know, due to this, because they just thought it was nothing. You see, so and that's how that works out. And then, so if somebody should pass on due to Aye-Lala, them drinking Aye-Lala's water, and you know, obviously that means they were guilty. It was probably shame that you wouldn't want to let them confess, or they probably thought, oh, their water would not do nothing to them. But even it's not going to be immediately. They, you know, from what we were told, they will have their body swollen, and you know, from that point, I think the priest will probably still be asking them, you know, if you take this thing, just confess. Where did you keep it? You can still return it back to the owner now, and they're going to give you whatever antidotes or whatever, so that you can, you know, you can stay alive. You know, but some people would deny, you know, all through to the end. And from what we were told, as it still happens, there are people that passed on due to Aye-Lala. People stricken to death by Aye-Lala are denied proper burial rites and ceremony, because you know, I think in the village there, among them, they are probably thinking, okay, this is a person that an Orisha, you know, passed on due to whatever it is. They must have done something bad. You know, also they probably thought there might be a repercussion if they were buried in that village or that town. So what then happened is, usually they would, they were taken to forests. They would take them to this deep forest to bury them there, maybe on marked grave or whatever. I believe that's how that is done over there. So, by the time, like I said, um, some people will think, this Orisha is harsh, just like us human being. Not everyone is the same, you see. And we all have a role here to play. Just your job description is not going to be the same as mine description. Hello there, I can see you there. I will, Father Ray. Wonderful having you here, Baba. Wonderful having you here. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll come back and say hi later on. Today we are talking about Orisha Aye-Lala, Aye-Lala deity. I'm sure I can see my Yoruba there, people there. I could see Awo, and I know that's it's probably Awo Ifa, and I'm sure they're familiar with Aye-Lala, goddess, the great one of justice and prosecution. I'm talking about here. Aye-Lala deified ancestor. So when we talk about Orishas, there are some Orishas that they were once like human like us, when they were here. Aye-Lala is a good example of one. These deified ancestors were humans who had lived extraordinary and mysterious lives. They have done something, great, something powerful, something, out of the ordinary. That's, they now became deity. That, so I mean, I can mention a few of them as I see here. When you're talking about Oshun, you talk about Shango. Shango, we have 3 versions of Shango, but one of the version is the one that was a king in Alafin. So we have those example of deified ancestors. So much that the kind of life that they lived when they were here, it was so extraordinary, so much that when they died, they were deified as God or goddess. So Aye-Lala is a goddess that I'm talking about here today. The great one, the great mother. I love her. Very, very great. For me, when I talk about Orishas, I just don't come out here to talk about them. I would usually ask, because they are my ancestors, isn't it? And I have all the tools to do that. That okay, today, before I came out for this video, I could have, we have like 4 or 5 Orishas that were ready, but it was Aye-Lala that came to the front first. I said, Alashola, I want you to go and talk about me. I said, okay, Mama, I'll go and do that. So it's they are very much alive. So there's another thing going on. I thought I'm going to mention that in this video. I'm not one to judge people, especially when what happened. I wasn't there, when what happened. So there's no way I'm going to come out and be saying. So it's still going to be alleged. Somebody said something, So there's this stuff going on about Aye-Lala out there. When you talk about human trafficking, that Aye-Lala has been alleged of aiding the social problem of human trafficking by supporting the activity of human traffickers in Nigeria, i.e. sex workers. So what am I talking about there is that there's some people going around that we go to a place like Benin. I'm sure there was a documentary out there also. I think it was BBC4 that covered that documentary. I can't be too sure, but it's out there. And but where I'm coming from here is that you're thinking that these priests, that you have some corrupt priests. That was alleged. That's nothing to do with me. Because I never witnessed anything like that happening. But obviously, there's no there's no, what is it, there's no fire, there's no smoke without fire, you know. So when there's something going on, maybe, it's something, people need to look into also. The allegations were that, you know, the human trafficker had been alleged of using Aye-Lala to intimidate their victim, to succumb them to to the control of their traffickers by making them to take dangerous oath in Aye-Lala shrine. So what they were saying is that, was that, this the trafficker, i.e., you want to say the madam or the pimp that were, in charge of this, that before they would take out this young female from, one second, before they would take this female from, wherever they were, maybe from Benin or from Lagos or from wherever, Ijebu, that usually, I mean, they wouldn't tell them what the job entails, i.e., that they're going to be sex workers when they get there. They probably will tell them that, oh, they're going to be helping them in their businesses. They have like shops, like hairdressers or grocery stores, where they just need like a sales girl, someone to come and help them in the counter. They will pay them good amount of money. All these stories. Well, also, I'm sure some of the girls also, they knew, what they are going out there to do. I mean, that's I don't want my own, what I think or the judgment or what I thought about. I just want to come here and, what's been said out there, and I wanted to clarify some area there where, when it comes to Aye-Lala, that okay. So they said usually the pimp or the madam would take these young women to Aye-Lala priest, and they would, request them to say oath, in front of, they succumb them to control of, to say oath about, okay, when you get to whatever it is they're taking you, you're not going to run away. You are, obviously the cost of your travel is your madam or this. They're not going to call them pimp at that point. They are the one that's they're going to find, they're going to foot the bill, so obviously when you get over there, you're going to work and then you're going to pay back this debt instrumentally. So that I believe it will be something around that area, that okay, so it will still be about this, working as a hairdresser or at a grocery store or whatever, or as a child, minding their children at home, and so on and so forth. So from what I was told, they said that they will now make these young women to swear this oath, that if they didn't comply, some of them will lose their mind, some will pass on, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So it was something along that area. So so they're making it sound as if Aye-Lala is also involved in the way these young women were being treated, which is not the case. I thought I'm going to come out here today and just iron that area a little bit, because when you look at life, it's just like saying someone that has a gun. Okay, a gun, let's say a gun, that's a powerful tool, isn't it? So a gun in itself is not a bad thing to have. So if you look in the area of when you're talking about security, you want to, something to protect you in case where you encounter danger, or your job or whatever that, or area that you live, you probably, you thought maybe you're going to need one to protect yourself. So when you're looking at a gun is it's not something that's bad in itself if you use it the way it's meant to be done. But when you now have people that take this gun and take it out to rob other people, or use it in a way that is unlawful, then it becomes, so people say, oh my God, that's a dangerous thing. No, you don't want that, But when you look at gun itself, a gun is not going to just take itself and go and be shooting people all over the place. No. It's going to be somebody that would have, a bad intention, to be able to do that. But when it's looking at the gun itself, it's not a bad tool. It's something when you are in a dangerous place and you happen to have a gun, it can save your life. You know, it's something that you use when you have it with you. It can protect you. You know you're not going to use they probably some people have gone in their house, they probably will not even seen it. They've not gone where you know where they kept it for the past 3-4 years because there was no need for it, but still there anyway as a security, just in case. So a gun itself is not something that is a bad thing to have. It depends on the way that people use it. So what I'm relating that to Aye-Lala here is that, so when some people they decided to want to exploit another human being, and they are looking for ways that they can intimidate them, you see, they can use any tool. Aye-Lala that was not what she stood for. Aye-Lala, from what I think the story of what happened to her, like I said earlier on at the beginning of this video, that she was a young female slave, and then there was I believe there was an issue around somebody committing adultery, and then obviously she was a slave, and then they found her guilty because of that. So it wasn't something. So I think in a way she's trying to correct what happened to her. That okay, if there was an Orisha like her, somebody that if you have 2, 3, 4 people and they've done, you don't know who have committed what, and you wanted to find out, if they had some Orisha like Aye-Lala at that time, maybe she was probably she would have lived a long life. They wouldn't have sacrificed her like that. But because there was not a system like that in place, also I'm thinking in my head that obviously because whoever was guilty of that offense, they got away. They probably were in a higher class than her because she was a slave, isn't it? So a slave is like nobody. So who's best to put it on than her? So, but I believe that's what she up to now. She was trying to what she stood for the truth, and that's what she's a goddess of justice, of prosecution, of truth, of oath, so that justice, whatever it is, so that the innocent do not go and suffer something that that they didn't do nothing about. You see, so what am I saying here is that when you talk about all people committing human trafficking, i.e. In the case of sex workers that's going on, when you go on you can go on YouTube or go on Channel 4, there's a lot of documentary out there, and it's a popular thing that they will say, oh, this pimp or the madam, when they are in Africa, when they will to looking for their victim, once they get them, they will now take them to Aye-Lala priest or priestess, so that they can, they will force them to swear an oath that, look, your madam or your boss, he or she is going to be responsible for the cost of taking you from Africa to Italy or wherever it is, or Turkey or wherever it is you're going to end up. So because of that, we need to be sure that when you get there, you're not going to run away. You're not going to be calling the police that somebody is exploiting you, blah blah blah. And so because of that, you need to swear at this oath here in front of Aye-Lala that when you get there, you're not going to run away. You're going to do the work that you said you are going to do when you get there, and then you make sure you pay all the money before you leave your boss's employment. And if you do not, blah 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 should happen to you. And so from what I heard, that these young women were forced to swear this oath under Aye-Lala Orisha, because everybody knows she's a no-nonsense Orisha. You don't go to her, she doesn't come out to play basketball. You don't go to her when you are not serious. It's either when you want to know yes or no, and you are honest about it. You don't go there and be say, oh, maybe we are not talking about Oshun here. We are not talking about Yemoja. We are talking about Aye-Lala. She's a no nonsense Orisha. She doesn't have time for all of that. So is that you what have you done? Have you done it? You didn't, or you promised something, you didn't keep it. You know, some people, some young lovers, some of, well, I don't know if that is crazy or not. Then when they are in love, they will go in front of Aye-Lala. Youngsters, that at the height of love, that, oh, I'm not going to leave you, it's going to be me and you until the end of days. Stuff like that. And then and then some may want to go to Aye-Lala. You don't go to Aye-Lala with something like that, because you guys are still young. You can't not just, so the other one is, you want to reassure them that when you are in love is such a strong emotion at the height of it. So it's not advisable. You want to go in front of Aye-Lala to confess your love, to reassure your partner that, okay, maybe you are a man, or, oh, I'm not going to leave you, baby, it's just going to be me and you from now till the kingdom come. Or if it's the young girl, also a woman, that, okay, my darling, I'll forever be yours. You don't do it's not that you can't. You can go in front of Aye-Lala, like, you have to just stay with that. Because if you don't, and say, oh, if you don't, if I should leave you, so and so should happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. So it's in cases like that. But I thought, coming to the end of this topic, I'm going to round it up now. And this Orisha, very, very dear to my heart. I remember years back, I probably was in my late 20s. That was I started to get all my Orishas, and they were calling me right center. That was when I first had my own Aye-Lala. I was so young. Another thing with Aye-Lala is that when you have Aye-Lala in the house, if you have Aye-Lala, another thing that's an area. If you come across this video, if you resonate with you, if Aye-Lala is your Orisha, or you do more research, please. But also, I want you also to take into consideration that if this Orisha you want to get, have your own Aye-Lala as your own, you want one made for you. If you find out that that's your mom, that blah blah blah. I just want her to be with me. I want her to live with me. I want to look after her. Also, I want you to know also that this Orisha is not. You have to look at your family dynamics. How the people that lives in that house. Because I give an example. If you are the owner of that, or say you have the Orisha, you brought her. Okay, mama is here. I'm going to look after her. Whatever it is, if somebody should treat you bad, or they should steal from you, she's going to punish them. So she doesn't care if they are your husband, they are your children, they are all she's concerned about is you, that protecting you. So I thought I will stress this here also. So if my own Aye-Lala, my mom, it was with my mom for a long time, because obviously I was very young. I think I only just had my eldest son then. So I was young, and obviously you have my ex. We're no longer together. Years. So I was thinking to myself, a lot of stuff were happening, and you don't want your ex or your partner. You guys might have a bit of argument, and you guys will probably resolve it, and you won't go far more than that. But when you have Aye-Lala as your mom or whatever Orisha, if you talk to you anyhow, if they should do anything to you, she's going to go and punish you. And you might not, or if you are a man that you have your own Aye-Lala, that's your mom there, and you have your wife there, she's been mouthy, or she's planning something, Aye-Lala is going to go and punish her, because the way she sees, that's her son. She's going to protect her son. She doesn't care you are the girlfriend, you are the wife, whatever you are. All she cares about is her son. So she thinks she can see you scheming, planning, whatever you're going to do for the son. She's not going to just sit around while you're going to do that to her son. She's going to attack you. And that could come in any form. Like I said, Aye-Lala, she's not an Orisha. She's very, very serious Orisha here. We're talking about, what all she's concerned about is the truth. I believe is what happened to her, and I think that changes everything. I believe that's what she was trying to correct as we speak, that some other innocent people did not die or was not killed because of something they didn't do. An innocent person, dying for something. A young woman at that, but obviously because she was a slave woman, young girl. So whoever was guilty, it was easier for them to just put everything on her head. That okay, is that slave there? Go and kill her, pardon. So, which a life is a life, isn't it? But after that, from what we were told, her spirit started to disrupt that community. I.e., they couldn't sleep, so they went and they consulted Ifa, and they found out it was a spirit. So they asked her what she wanted. From that time that she become a deity, she said the way they, after they've appeased her and everything, he said what happened to her that will never happen to anyone again. Never. That from that time, from that time on, that if there's any situation like that, they weren't clear about who did what, they should always bring them to her. That she would resolve that without shedding innocent blood. I believe that's what she stood for. So when you're talking about people using Aye-Lala for victim of human trafficking to swear an oath in Africa before bringing them to Italy or anywhere in Europe for prostitution, I believe people shouldn't be blaming Aye-Lala. No. If it's like I gave an example of money, I gave about gun, so you have all this in their power, so just when you have power, that doesn't, you can misuse of power. There are a lot of people that they does that. That doesn't mean power is a bad thing in itself. It depends on how you use power. You see, money is power. And when you have people like Aye-Lala, when you have got a gun, that's the power. You have power there. That's a tool. That's a powerful tool. You see, so the same thing when we have a powerful Orisha like the one we're talking about here, Aye-Lala. She's a powerful Orisha of no nonsense, of justice. But that doesn't mean the way people now uses power. That is what in what context you want to say, oh, is that good or bad? When you have money is not a bad thing to have. You live a comfortable life when you have money. It gives you peace of mind. You can things that you wanted to accomplish, you can do that. Your loved one, you can cater for them better. You too, you have peace, you have rest of mind. You can live your life the way that you want to live it. But at the same time, we have people also that they can use their power, their money, to go and pay for somebody to go and kill somebody. You see, but that doesn't mean that money itself is bad. That's what I'm trying to pass on in this video. Like I said, I'm going to do the best that I can. That so they don't see Aye-Lala as a bad Orisha. No. She is a powerful that no one can take that away from her. And she is going to continue to be like that. So if people that are, people would always want to find a way to cover or support whatever they are doing. So if some pimp or some madam that want to go and take some young female from Africa to Europe for prostitution, for whatever, they decided that okay, they wanted to put something in place so that when these girls, when they arrived in wherever they are taking them, they won't go to the law to go and complain, oh, so somebody, because they will be afraid. They are, you know, that okay, this oath that they swear before they left Africa, and we've heard of some of these young girls going crazy also, the one that are stubborn, and they will run away from the madam and go to the police, and they will say, oh, like what would be told, like few days after that they will you know, they will go mental, you see. So a lot like that has happened. So who do you blame? It's not the Orisha. Like you have money, is it a bad thing to have money? If someone say money is the root of all evil, not the, as far as I'm concerned, money is the root of all happiness, of all peace of mind, of joy. Because when you don't have it, that's when you are in trouble. So it would depend on the same money that I am sitting down here that I see as a good thing. So you can see other people, some people too, they have that money. They probably are planning on how to use it to destroy other people's life. You see, something like gun I mentioned earlier on. So I'm going to round it up. What am I trying to say here is this Orisha that I love so dearly, you know, whatever it is, because when you think about life itself and how, you know, something is fair or not fair, you know, but somehow the universe, God Almighty, whatever you want to call it, you know, has given. And today she's a, you know, she's a goddess, you know, and she's still here, you know, influencing lives, trying to correct that wrong that was did to her. I think that's great. That's fantastic, you know. So that's all I'm going to be talking about here today, my wonderful people. We're back to the season of Orishas. Like I said earlier on, I when you want to talk, I don't know about other people, but for me, the Orishas, you know, like today you have to ask, okay, yeah, you know, and like I said, I had like 4 or 5 Orishas, you know, they were ready, but it was Aye-Lala that came from that, okay, about go and talk about me, you know, go out there and just go and talk about me. I said I will. So here I am, guys. Wonderful having you guys here. Beautiful people. Each and every time that I'm on Alashola, it's always a wonderful time for me because I know you guys will be here. Also, I have Happy Oshun Festival going on. Obviously, I'm not in Nigeria. You know, but I did the promo, but I've got our people there as we speak. You know, when you are over, you can't. There's certain things you are not allowed to do anymore. You know, you can't. You know, be like, you know, before I became over, you know, I would when we run tours like that, you will see me at the front all the time. You know, we'll go to Washington, go, you're going to see me there. You know, I'm going to, you know, whichever festival we at Ijebu for Agemo, you know, you see me right there at the front, you know. But obviously, those are part of, what do you call it, our tradition in Yoruba. I believe for you guys here, but my, you know, my brothers and my sisters that are here, you know, that Yoruba, or if you are into Yoruba, you will know what it means when they say Oba, you're not allowed to just go anywhere. You are meant to stay home. You know, you can't be saying you can organize and be at the background, but you are meant to delegate and people to go there, make sure everything runs well. You know, so that's why otherwise I will be there by now. You know, so but I pray, I know they're going to have a fantastic time. We had our people there. I mean, for Shango, we also for Shoshogo, you know, and I pray, I know for sure everything will run smoothly. They will come safely. Some are from USA, some left from here, some are from Spain, you know, and they, you know, they're there as we speak, you know, and I pray they all have a successful festival. Everything will, you know, go smoothly. You know, it's wonderful having you guys here. So I'm going to round it up. Next week, the next show we're going to do will probably be on my YouTube channel. So, but I'll put the post here before going live over there. So I would appreciate if you guys can join us there also. We're going to talk about another interesting Orisha next week by the grace of Almighty God. So wonderful having you guys here. I'm going to do a bit of promo about what I do, as some of you guys that are familiar with me, that I'm into all this African spirituality, Yoruba to be precise. I have, for people that have Orishas, you can check on my website, Alashola Herbs and Spiritual. My address is on my page, it's at the bottom or top of this video. Go over there, whatever it is that you're looking for. If you can't find anything, whatever, you can WhatsApp me. I'll do the best that I can to make sure that you get it. Also, we have Ifa here as a tool for divination. Whatever it is you are going through life, like I will say in my videos, there are lots of tools for you can use for divination. Some people you can even train to do one yourself. Like in the Western world, they would use tarot cards. You use pendulum. Some will use cowries and so on and so forth. But for me, I have skills in all those areas. For me, Ifa has always stand out because not only because I'm a child of Ifa myself, because I have my own Ifa or Saishu, but because reason being that, you see, when you are going through stuff in life, it's something else. You already probably have an idea what's wrong with you, what's going on. So someone else repeating it, they might put it in a better picture than what you could see. But you already know there was an issue. But where Ifa, is fantastic is that Ifa will now tell us what to do, how we can rectify what's gone wrong. So for me, Ifa is number one. Is right at the top. Because it's when you have issue. Okay, I'm a kind of person that I'm a solution kind of person. Whatever that's going on right now, all I'm thinking in my head is I'm going to resolve it. I'm going to change this. I'm going to correct this. I'm going to do the best that I can. So it puts you in a powerful place whereby you can sort of turn the table around, whereby you will be sitting at the right side of the table. You see, because you have options on what you can do to correct that. It could be in form of appeasement, it could be warnings, it could be do this and do that, But once you do that, now you've done all of that, it will now realign you back with your destiny, back on your journey again. So for me, Ifa is the best. There's no, I don't care if I love him. Ifa is wonderful, So whatever it is you're going through, give us a call here at Alashola. You can WhatsApp me. If it could be a general life stagnancy, you just felt that things are you just staying rooted in one place. You're wondering what's going on. Give us a call here at Alashola. It could be an issue with divorce or relationship or breakup problems. We know how that can be. Somebody that used to adore you, someone that used to love you in the past, and now they become this demon or whatever. Or maybe you're the one that become give us a call here. It could be case of court cases, problem with the authority. It could be lack of direction. You have no sense of purpose. Give us a call at Alashola. If you have health issues, addiction issue, give us a call here, or problem at workplace. Maybe your boss is giving you a hard time. You'll have a colleague there that want to get rid of you. Give us a call here at Alashola. Family issue and so on and so forth. The universe has blessed us. We have all this living consciousness around us to help us to be the best that we can be while we're here, to achieve our life purpose while we're here, you see. And so why not put them to use? So that's what we're going to be talking about here, my wonderful people. For sure next week we're going to be talking about Orisha, but I'm not going to tell you which Orisha. You're going to have to wait for it. So that's going to be it for tonight I believe you guys continue to enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's wonderful having you guys here. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. See you in my next video. Bye bye.